Hey yo, I'm Caleb Brown. Welcome back to my kitchen. So happy you're here. And today we're doing a real weird one. I promise next week we'll do something really normal like pie, something real wholesome. But this week we are making our own cricket flour from live crickets. Why would we do that? Your answer might be because this is clickbait. You'd be right. However, there legit are reasons to do this for real. They have more B12 than salmon. There's twice the amount of iron as spinach. They use way less water and food than something like a cow. Tremendously sustainable protein. And if you really kind of get into it, you can raise them on your own. It only takes 6 to 8 weeks. You can control the food that they eat. Therefore, what goes into you, you are what you eat. So we have some crickets here. I tried to give them a little like outdoorsy environment to make them feel chill and cool, but all I could find was old Christmas decorations. So I hope that they just feel like they're at a Christmas party, you know, that's fun for them. But we are going to go through the whole process of making our own flour, and then we're gonna make some high protein, sustainable energy bars. I'm using things like honey and puffed rice, things like that, with our homemade cricket flour. So the first thing we have to do, these guys are alive and well and jumping around and doing their thing. We have to kind of force them to go into hibernation, and then we'll be able to blanch them and make flour out of them. You'll see the whole process coming up. Say goodbye to our little buddies. They're gonna go into the freezer for a couple of hours, just 2 or 3 hours. That'll be enough to kind of force them into that hibernation period and then stay that way. Now that your crickets have been freezing in the freezer for at least a couple of hours and up to 24 hours, I like to put them in one vessel just to work with, and then put them into a roiling boil. That's a boil that will not be disturbed even if you put a spoon or fork through it. Now that you've dried off your crickets and put them onto a sheet pan, you'll want to put them into the oven at 325 degrees for about 25 minutes or until they're totally crisp. Now that they're totally dried out and really crisp, it's time to grind them up into that flour. I'm using a spice grinder. You're also welcome to use a coffee grinder, something like that, preferably a coffee grinder that hasn't already ground coffee, as that flavor will probably transfer over, but pretty quickly will turn into a usable flour. And with our cricket flour ready to go, it is time to make our high protein breakfast bars. Now this is a flour replacement, so you can really use any recipe you'd like. I kind of made my own up on the spot, but I can tell you I did use about half a cup of chopped dates, a fourth of a cup of honey, half a cup of cricket flour, half a cup of oat flour, 1 cup of puffed rice, a fourth of a cup of flax seeds, half a cup of sliced almonds, a fourth of a cup of unsweetened coconut shreds, a fourth of a cup of water, and about 2 tablespoons of chocolate almond butter, a splash of vanilla extract, a little bit of salt, and then we just mix until we're able to make them into little tiny bars. Then bake at 300 degrees for about 20 minutes. All right, and there we have it. What a process. But look at these gorgeous bars we have. They smell amazing. Obviously a lot more goes into these than just that cricket flour. Off camera I did try just the flour itself. Really unoffensive, very nutty, you know, kind of a warm kind of flavor. Really nice, honestly. I fully understand the stigma behind it, but truly a really nice flavor. I think I roasted mine a little bit too long. I'm not upset about that, but that is where I'm getting kind of that extra nutty flavor. So it's kind of up to you how much you want to do that roasting, but I wanted that sort of deeper flavor. So without further ado, let's take a bite. Oh yeah, that's great. I think that's better than the Cliff Bar. I pretty much made that recipe up on the fly, and you should basically do the same. You know, you don't get too much of the cricket flavor. Like I said, it's subtle. Just a little bit nutty. Obviously that plays well with what I put in there, dates, coconuts, things like that. So there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of great companies that already make cricket flour. I probably just recommend buying from them. However, you know, if you're really into this, it's pretty much the only way you can truly guarantee their diet and therefore what goes into you. So if you are into sustainable protein and getting more into eating things that the rest of the world eats, like bugs, really good way to start. They say the cricket is the gateway bug into this world. I thought this would be interesting. My apologies if it did kind of gross out some folks, but I think it's important to think about protein, about sustainability, you know, and also thinking about the stigma behind it, and maybe there shouldn't be a stigma behind it. Maybe this is a clean, smart protein, and we're just being a little bit irrational about it. Anyway, let me know what you think. Like I said, next week we'll do something really wholesome. We'll have puppies and kittens and things like that, everything, not to eat. They'll just be running around. It'll be wholesome. It'll be nice. I promise you. No bugs. No bugs for a really long time. I'll give you that promise. No bugs for a while. Not saying no bugs ever, but for a while you're safe from the bugs. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you bug-free next time.